This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for Thursday, April 24th, 2025. I'm Marek Mazurek. Indiana University's Launch Accelerator for Biosciences, known as IU Lab, on Thursday announced partnerships with 3 organizations that will recruit and accelerate the growth of high-potential startups, which can strengthen Indiana's place as a leader in life sciences. Generator, a Madison, Wisconsin-based startup accelerator, will run a pre-accelerator program for early-stage startups that have an idea but not yet a viable product. Then, San Jose, California-based venture capital firm Plug and Play and the Central Indiana Corporate Partnership will collaborate on an accelerator for startups that have a potentially viable product and are preparing for fundraising.
Founders in the pre-accelerator are going to work in a 7-week program to refine their value propositions and business models. They're going to connect with mentors and customers and investors, and they're going to acquire the fundraising skills needed to achieve business milestones.
That's IU President Pamela Whitten. IU Lab also announced that its accelerator programs will now be called IU Health Incubator at IU Lab, thanks to a $4.5 million 3-year sponsorship deal with IU Health. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita is opposed to the proposed merger between Union Health and Terre Haute Regional Hospital. In a letter to the Indiana Department of Health, Rokita said the merger would create a regional monopoly that, quote, would impose a negative impact on Hoosiers in the area seeking quality health care and affordable costs. Plans for the 2 Terre Haute hospitals to merge have been in the works since September of 2023, when Union Health applied for a Certificate of Public Advantage, or COPA, which allows hospital mergers that the Federal Trade Commission otherwise considers illegal. The FTC opposed the plan, and Union Health withdrew its application last November. However, the health system filed a new COPA application in February, which again drew opposition from the FTC. In his letter, Rokita said the consolidation of the 2 hospitals would, quote, lead to the monopolization of Terre Haute hospital systems that would be unchecked in raising healthcare costs, stifling innovation, suppressing wages, and reducing access to healthcare for the citizens of Terre Haute. A recent analysis from Yale University found the proposed merger of Union Health and Terre Haute Regional would result in about a 10 to 30% increase in healthcare prices and a 3 to 10% increase in insurance premiums. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
To succeed, you need to stay informed. You need to be engaged. And let's face it, you need to set yourself apart from the rest by connecting with a company that brings you the best. Because in today's environment, business is an ever-moving target, and we'll help you chase it. IBJ Media. The best of business is in us. Get started at ibjmedia.com/youngprofessional.
Funding for the IEDC and its programs were slashed by 25% in what's likely the final version of the state's budget unveiled Wednesday evening. The major drop in economic development funding is among a series of cuts made to the budget after lawmakers learned they're facing a $2 billion shortfall. At the same time, criticism of how the state conducts its economic development activities intensified this week after new reporting raised questions over the state's relationship with a spun-off venture capital firm. In the current budget passed by legislatures back in 2023, funding for the IEDC operating expenses and programs totaled almost $100 million. Plus, after an unexpected surge in projected revenue, lawmakers gave the IEDC another $500 million to support closing deals with prospective companies. However, the latest proposal would only give $74 million to the IEDC over the next 2 years, which cuts $19.3 million out of the already pared-down Senate-passed budget. The budget proposal provides more funding for operations and business promotion support, but cuts 5 funds and programs totaling $35 million. The legislature is expected to pass the budget bill by the end of the week. For more details on what was cut, head to InsideIndianaBusiness.com. Vincennes University is launching an online program this summer that will allow high school students to earn college credit, an initiative that the college says could be especially beneficial for those attending smaller schools. Called the Early College Online Program, it will be available to high schoolers at a rate of $100 per credit hour. Since 2024, all Indiana high schools are required to offer students access to Indiana College Core Certificate of Graduation courses, but some smaller schools may lack enough credentialed teachers to teach those dual credit courses. Vincennes' new program can help overcome that. Through the program, high school students can earn at least 30 college credits taught by university faculty. Other Indiana colleges, including Ball State University and Ivy Tech Community College, offer similar opportunities. The founder of a gluten-free line of snacks, Jennifer Weesey, is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC. A weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Marek Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.